Good morning, Mike Schimmel.
Good morning,
Mr.
Darby.
Mike Schimmel, Consul General, and also William McCullough, Visa Chief.
Good morning.
Did I see tears coming?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm all broken up. I'm leaving Jamaica soon in about a month after 2 years here in your lovely island.
I'm leaving. I am crying for you too. Tell me about the I sure you had some very wonderful times in this country. Tell me about the experiences.
You know, we serve as diplomats. We go from country to country, and you always spend time looking forward to arriving and then settling in, and then before you know it, it's time to leave. So this will be
I'm leaving.
one of my sixth country, and actually Jamaica's been one of the most interesting and this fascinating. Learned to scuba dive, went all around a lot of resorts, and drove all the way around the island. Really had a good time and got to make a large number of friends. And the great thing is, it's not too far away, so my wife and I can plan to come back.
But there's one thing that you didn't learn.
Uh-oh.
You don't know what?
I'm waiting.
You know, if it's like me.
See, I leave the patois to Mr. Schimmel. Mike's the patois guy.
He's classic, you know.
He's got it all over.
The first time he came on the show, let me tell you, our listeners were literally bowled over.
Greetings, massive. Yeah, so nice.
Listen. Let me tell you something. You're the best, you know.
Oh, stop.
You're the best.
Mr. McCullough is being very modest about his
I just don't want to show up the boss. That's one of the key things, you know.
Patois aside, in the 2 years that Bill McCullough served here, he oversaw the processing over 200,000 visa applications to the United States. Over 200,000.
Really?
The numbers are up this year almost 40%. And we attribute much of that.
No, I'm so Schimmel. I don't think I'm hearing correctly.
Yes. Almost 40%. Yes, 39.5% right now over last year at this time. And much of that is in part to the transparency of the operation that Bill projects, so that people understand more what the process is, that they don't need help from people on the street, that information is available. He also helped to oversee the processing of more than 50,000 immigrant visas, people who got green cards under Bill's watch. So these 2 years have been remarkably productive, and he's leaving behind many fond memories for all of us and for so many Jamaicans whose lives now have an entirely different flavor because of the management of the visa operation.
But it's important to note that the work is done. We have 15 Americans working for me, and we have another 30 Jamaicans working. So they're the ones who do the work. That's it's an American and Jamaican process looking to help legitimate travelers, travel people who want to immigrate, and it can be a very enjoyable and joyful job in that way, until we get to the people who are lying to us, which still happens from time to time. As we say, come and tell us the truth. You won't always get your visa, but coming and telling us the lies, that's when we tend to catch people, and then you've turned one bad judgment into a lifetime problem. So we want to encourage people.
I believe, Mike, that persons they're trying so hard to impress you. They're probably so frightened by the process, and I must tell you that persons are now seeing a different embassy now, with you coming on this program. They're seeing the face of the embassy. I believe that people will be more honest, because I think what persons are doing, they're trying to overdo this thing, and in overdoing they come across
I think you're right.
telling the truth.
I want to ask the listeners to share with us their impressions of their experience at the embassy. We have a Facebook page, and it invites comments, and people are asked to say, what was it like at the embassy? What was your experience? Because we very much want to improve and enhance the service that we offer to Jamaicans. We want Jamaicans to travel to the States. I told you before that every traveler to the States is a contribution to our economy. We want them to go to the States. Yeah, we want them to go to the States and spend all their money.
Exactly. Mike, I have a caller. Okay. Who we have online there now? Kay. We have Kay online. Good morning, Kay. Good to have you.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
You go right ahead. We have Consul General Mike Schimmel and also William McCullough.
Okay, great. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Kay.
Okay. All right. I have a quick question. I'm in a supervisory position at my work. My company will be paying for me to do law in October because it's with the University of London. The thing is that I do voluntary work. I am a vice president at my police youth club, and I do voluntary work with the Institute of Caribbean Studies, which is based in Washington, D.C., but it's owned by a Jamaican doctor. Now, what's happening is that June is a big month for that company, and they had wanted me to come for 1 week in June to assist with their National Caribbean Heritage Month process. But the thing is that I do not have a visa. I tried for a visa, but it was a visitor's visa 2 times, when I was 14 and when I was 20. I want to know what type of visa would I apply for to do this voluntary work. I'm not going there to work to make a profit.
Of course. Okay, right. where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Kingston.
Great, okay. Well, listen, thanks so much for calling. For one thing, we'd love the chance to be able to hear your questions ahead of time and give you the guidance. Generally, voluntary work like you're talking about is perfectly fine as part of a normal tourist visa.
Okay.
So the key is just to let us know what you're doing. If the school's giving you a letter or something like that, that's nice. But we want to hear from you. You just want to be prepared to explain what the program is, why you're involved. And how many years ago was it you were last refused?
I was 20, so I believe that was 2010.
Okay.
No, I was 21.
I was being polite and not asking your age. Yeah, I was very big, very diplomatic there.
I don't mind.
The key thing to realize is that, especially at your age, people go through a lot of different things. Your life is very different than it was when you were 14 or 16, and we recognize that. So while we may not have been able to give you a visa in the past, that is past, and we work very hard to look at your situation right today, to look at it exactly and only judge you on your situation right now. So please don't be worried about it, but get online and sign up for your appointment as soon as possible.
Okay, so it would be the regular visitor's visa that I had applied for.
That is correct, but keep in mind, that's for us to figure out too. Even if you come in and let's say you applied, put down that you were a student, we would say, fine, that's not actually right, we'll give you this other category. So make your best guess, but we're the ones that ultimately figure that out.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Going to go for a break right now. Just want to make sure it's William. We're used to the name McCullough. It's McCullough.
McCullough, yeah. A little funny spelling there.
Yeah. So it's C-U-L-L, McCullough.
C-U-L-L-A.
Right. All right. We have as our very special guest today, Mike Schimmel, Consul General, and William McCullough, Visa Chief. Welcome back. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. It's a feature, Ask the Consul. Of course, we have as our very special guest, Mike Schimmel, Consul General, and William McCullough, Visa Chief. Right. Okay, we have a caller on the line. Tashana, good morning. How are you? Good to have you.
Hi, pleasant morning. I am calling to get some information. Right, my spouse actually went on his immigrant interview in March. He got some papers in regards to beneficiaries interview. We got all the documents and we sent them. We sent the interview for the beneficiaries interview 12 working days ago. I was told I wasn't supposed to respond, or send another email. I'll be getting a response in 5 working days, but until today we haven't received a response.
Well, Tashana, I'm sorry to hear about that delay. We certainly do our best to respond in a timely manner, but we don't always manage it. What I'd love you to do is, I assume you wrote to the Kingston IV at state.gov address?
That's a Kingston IV appointment.
Right.
Because that's for the beneficiary's appointment.
Okay. What I'd love you to do is send a new email to Kingston IV.
Hold on.
Sorry about that.
That's Kingston.
IV, no spaces.
IV,
At state.gov. At state.gov, as in Department of State.gov.
.gov,
And the first thing you do is write, Bill, I heard Bill on the radio, and he told me to write in. So hopefully the people who work for me will focus on that. And
I'm going to write, the first thing I write is Bill?
Yes. You just say that you talked to me on the radio, and I asked you to write in, and they'll send me that. They'll forward that email on to me, and then just give us the information. It could be sometimes, honestly, we aim for 5-day response. Sometimes we get behind. It's a very busy time of year, and I apologize for that. But we'll do our best to get you all straightened out.
Okay. What another thing I'd like to know. The paper states that they're supposed to do their medical. Is it that they're to do their medical before they get a date, or they're supposed to do the medical after they get a date?
You can do the medical after you get the date, but it has to be done before you actually show up for the appointment. That's correct.
Okay, then thank you very much.
All right, thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you for calling, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Let me just take a call because I know you have some information for me. But we have Tia on the line. Let's go to Tia. Tia, good morning. Good to have you. Tia.
Yes, good morning. Hi, Mr. Darby. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Tia.
Good morning.
I'm interested in the H4 visa. Well, I would like to know if I would be qualified for such a visa. My husband works overseas for 7 months at a time, in the U.S., of course. And I understand that with this visa, his family could travel along with him. Is that so?
Now, you said your husband is on the H4 currently?
No, he's not. He's on the, what is it now? The working one? B2?
Right. Generally, yes. As long as his petition is valid, families can accompany. We do need to see evidence of the initial petition and your husband's visa, but that should not be a major problem.
Oh, okay. So we can just go ahead and apply.
Go ahead and apply, and then if we need any other documentation, we'll let you know. The key thing will be he received something called a notice of action that explained that he was given the H status, and that will be very useful to see in terms of looking at this.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, you have a good day. All right, I'm going to ask our callers just to hold off for a few minutes, 5 minutes, so you have some information from Mike. Yes, Mike.
Well, Vernon, you were kind enough last week to allow us to speak a little bit to our American citizen audience.
Yes.
And I just wanted to mention to all the American citizens listening and to anyone else who might be interested, because there are non-Americans who are also entitled to these particular features, we have a Social Security Administration regional director who's stationed in Costa Rica, coming to Jamaica next week to talk to Americans and other recipients of Social Security benefits on anything they'd like clarified regarding their benefit package. Her name is Vivian Adebayo, and she'll be here Monday through Wednesday in Kingston and in Montego Bay. Bill has some of the details of a couple of town meetings that she's going to have.
You're going to have town meetings?
Yeah, they might be of interest to the American citizens and how to sign up for them so we know that we can have places for you.
Exactly. Thanks, Mike. The first of the town meetings will be at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston on Old Hope Road on May 12th at 1 p.m. There'll also be a town hall in Montego Bay at the Sea Garden Beach Resort on May 14th at 5 p.m. If you're interested in if you're interested in attending either, you should send an email to Kingston ACS, that stands for American Citizen Services, at state.gov no later than tomorrow. Include the full name of everyone who wants to attend. You'll get an email response confirming your attendance, and be sure you bring a government-issued photo ID, voter card, driver's license, passport, in order to show up. There are also a limited number of one-on-one appointments available in Kingston, May 12th to 13, or in Mobay on May 14th. Write to that same email address if you're interested in an individual meeting.
Just remind us, William, of that email address.
Email address, KingstonACS at state.gov.
Yes, Mike.
And I just wanted to mention any of this information, of course, all of this information and anything else related to the embassy is often presented in very dynamic fashion on our Facebook page. We have now, Vernon, you'll be pleased to know, we've almost caught up to you. We have almost 30,000 followers.
Yes.
And we hope to have 40,000 in no time at all, thanks to the revolution in media that you represent.
Thank you very much. It's Facebook.com. You remember that?
U.S. Embassy Jamaica at Facebook. If you go to your own Facebook account, just type in U.S. Embassy Jamaica, and when it comes up, click like. And if you are the 35,000th follower, I will record the voice on your home answering machine.
What a thing.
Yes.
In Patois, too.
In Patois.
I hear you. Okay. There are many persons, who they are anxious now to get to visit the U.S. And there are a lot of con men around the place. And many of us are probably a little bit too gullible. And as I said, we're probably scared of the embassy. But we shouldn't be now, because you're here, we're talking to you, and of course, you're sounding more Jamaican than myself. But I'm sure you want to probably give those listeners a little bit of advice in terms of...
Certainly. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
One of the reasons that we like coming on this show is to disabuse people of the notion that they need special assistance in processing their visa or preparing for their visa. All the information they need is on our website, which is kingston.usembassy.gov, or just Google U.S. Embassy Kingston or U.S. Embassy Jamaica. That's the information that's true and sound and reliable.
Yes.
People on the street want you to buy into their package of false documents or scripts that aren't true, and you can get yourself into serious trouble, because if you misrepresent the truth to the consular officer, it isn't just a question of a visa being denied at that time. Possibly you've prejudiced your eligibility for the entire lifetime, including an immigrant visa.
So
there could be the day years from now when you're processing to immigrate.
Your son want to file for you?
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to benefit because you had once misrepresented the truth. So why take that chance? Just tell us the truth. 100% of qualified applicants receive their visas. 100% of qualified applicants. If you're a qualified applicant, you will get your visa. All you have to do is tell us the truth and make sure that the truth corresponds to the expectations described on the web page.
One thing I wanted to add was that we found in some studies that of the people we've identified as using a fixer, about 50% get turned down during their interview. That's actually a higher rate than people just coming in off the street. Normally about 7 out of 10 get their visas. The irony is that the fixers are very good at finding legitimate people who would have gotten their visa anyway.
Yes.
They sell them the service, the people go, they get their visa, they're happy, they think it's because of the fixer. That's smart business for the fixer, but it's a waste of their time. And again, if we found that person used the fixer, the whole thing goes into question. And they've lost what they might have gotten anyway.
Exactly.
I hear you. We have a caller, Lewin, I think. We have Lewin. Let's go to this caller. Good morning, Lewin. How are you doing? Good morning. Not hearing that caller at all. All right. Do we have another caller? All right. Margarine?
Morning, Mr. Darby.
How you doing? Good to have you.
Yes, nice to hear from you. Could I speak to the consular, please?
Yes, they're listening.
Yeah. My mom, she went overseas, USA. She got a 10-year visa. It expired, and she got a 1 year. She go back on the 1 year and she come back, but it's 5 years now from she go. So what do she have to do? She have to apply like for a regular visa, like not have a renewal again.
Let me see if I can address that. I don't have all the facts on the situation, but the thing is, Marjorie, it's hard to know without seeing her situation. You do have to understand that a visa is just a permit which allows you to apply to enter the U.S. And when we say 10 years, that means that over the course of 10 years, you can go many, many, many times. It does not mean... But it does not mean you can go in and stay for 10 years. That's when people run afoul of the law. So
no, she didn't spend 10 years. She go and spend like 2 months.
Yeah.
3 months,
Okay. All right.
Until it's finished. Well, then she go back and renew it. She gets 1 year.
All right. The visa will say on it when it expires. That's a key thing you need to look at. Usually we'll issue them to Jamaicans for 10 years. Occasionally we'll do it for a shorter period of time. But as long as that's valid, even if the passport's expired, she's fine. She can get a new passport and travel with the visa in the old passport as well. Does that answer your question?
No, but it's 5 years now from she did go back with a 1 year visa.
So she had a visa, it expired 5 years ago, and she wants to travel again. She'll apply again, but the fact that she's had visas in the past argues very well for a reissuance. Yes. She shouldn't have to worry about her eligibility. She's used the visa correctly in the past, and we'll look at that, and most likely we'll determine that she can continue to enjoy her trips to the United States.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marjorie.
Thank you.
All right, let's now go to Rihanna. Good morning, Rihanna. How are you?
I am fine, Mr. Darby, and you?
Not bad at all.
Good morning to the consul.
Good morning, Rihanna. Very, very upbeat this morning. Nice to hear your voice.
Yes. All right, I have a quick question here. I applied for my visa. It was expired, right? I was in college at the time, but I went on the work program like 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Great. I hope you had a good experience.
Even though the visa was expired. But because going on the work program, I really didn't have a need, or because of school, I didn't go and reapply. However, when I went back for my visa 2 years ago, I was denied. The consul said that she cannot grant me the visa because when I graduate from school, if I should not land a job, she cannot guarantee that I will sit on my visa, which I really didn't like the sound of that. And then she went on to state that she is seen on the system where I have traveled good on my work visa. I really didn't get that part. So you're saying that you don't know if when you give me the visa after I leave school and I don't get a job, I will go away and not come back. Really? So I don't know what to do. I went back again and I was denied again.
Sure, no, I understand. And I'm very sorry. I know that can be very, very difficult around. I would say this, one of the things to remember is that, especially for persons late teens, early 20s, just getting going in life, you're in very different situations at different parts of your life. When you're in school, you have a strong reason to come back. Let's say you've been in school 2 years, you're halfway there, you can anticipate finishing the degree, and a program like the summer work travel makes a lot of sense in that context. You work for a few months, get some money, keep going. Once you've graduated, especially if you haven't been fortunate enough to get a job yet, it becomes much harder to know why you would come back, and that it sounds like that may be what you're running afoul of. It just reflects your situation in life. Now, I don't know whether you're full-time employed yet or not, but often that makes a huge difference, and especially having been employed for a while, for a few years. So I understand your frustration, and I'm sympathetic. It will probably be easier as you move ahead with full-time employment.
Yeah, but I was in college at the time. I was going into my 3rd year at the time.
When you were refused,
Yes, but the first time when I went to renew it, I was going into my 3rd year.
And now, how far into your professional life are you?
Well, I am in a job now.
Good.
To come in, but I'm really scared to go back.
Don't be scared, but this is the situation. First, when you go to the window, have that same confident, upbeat tone that you have during this call.
All right.
Because that makes a big difference. It shows that you know perfectly well that you're a good traveler and you should qualify for the visa. And then just explain what's different about your situation today than from the day when you were last refused, because that's what the officer wants to know. He's going to say, what's changed in your life? And you say, well, let me just tell you a few things about myself. And that's really how the interview goes. It's a conversation. So I wish you well. Don't be scared. I think you should be just as confident as you are today.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Rihanna.
All right, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for calling. We're going to go for the break right now. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. It's the feature Ask the Consul. Our very special guest is Mike Schimmel, Consul General, and William McCullough, Visa Chief. Vernon Darby saying to you, soon come back. Don't move.
For the whole month of May.
Low prices every day.
Miles of tiles.
And the largest variety of top quality porcelain tiles.
Extra specials and double bowl, no drain for just $2,999, including faucet.
And bathroom base including faucet for just $1,999.
Limited stock available. And everybody price is going up.
Those prices coming down.
So come visit us at 279 Spanishtown Road,
4 South Camp Road,
2B Kenyon Drive, Peppercorn,
and uptown at 8 Red Hills Road.
Choose Hardware and Supplies.
The Lion King of Hardware.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, baby.
Welcome back. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media, taking your questions about visa matters relating to the United States of America. We have Mike Schimmel, the Consul General, and William McCullough, Visa Chief. You're going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, massive, you should know, Vernon Darby is a techie to the extreme. While we're sitting here, he is tweeting, he is posting photographs on Facebook. The man is a tech genius.
Oh boy, my head is going to get so big, I can't hold it. the studio.
So while you're liking the U.S. Embassy Facebook page, make sure you like Vernon Darby, because it'll be a gem.
Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, we have, I forget who I'm on the line again. Pamela, we have Pamela. Pamela, how are you, Pamela? Good to have you.
May I speak to the counselor, please?
Yes, he's listening. Well, both of them, they are listening.
We're here.
Mike Schimmel and William McCullough.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my sister filed for me, and the filing has come through. And the green card is going to my sister's address in New York. But I am going to my daughter in Florida. Can I change the address from where the green card will be sent to Florida?
Now, you've already gotten your visa and entered the U.S.?
No, I'm not already entered. I'm entering soon.
Okay, so
I'm making preparation.
You've already gotten the physical visa. You have that in your possession,
yes,
right?
Sir.
That is an excellent question to which I do not have the answer. So, what I'm going to do is ask you to send me an email, if you don't mind. Write to KingstonIV@state.gov and tell them you talked to Bill on the radio.
Yes.
And with your very excellent change of address question, to which he didn't have an answer, and I will find it out and get back to you.
Because when my daughter's supposed to pay the $165, she said if you it is on the site, if you change of address, you can change your address if you haven't changed.
Yeah.
Where the green card will be sent.
Right.
So I'm just still asking.
I believe that is correct, but I'd be happier if you'd give me the chance to confirm it. I've got Jamaican staff who've been doing this for 30, 35 years. They'll know in a moment.
Because I always call her, but she knows that I'm going to Florida where
Absolutely.
my daughter is.
But as I said before, you just send that email. Just remind her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. KingstonIV@state.gov and mention you talked to Bill.
Make sure you mention you talked to Bill.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
William, you want to say that the email address again?
KingstonIV@state.gov.
Yes.
All right.
Great.
Thank you very much for calling. All the
Thanks,
best, you see. Carry on. Our next caller. Good morning, Carry on. Good to have you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Not bad. And my special guests, Mike Schimmel and William McCullough.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning,
I have
Karen.
a situation. I had a 10-year visa before, and when I had a baby, so I didn't travel for a while on it. The last time I traveled, it was like in 2005. My visa expired 2010. I have a baby 2007, but when she was 2 years old, when my visa was not opposite, I went for her. Anyway, they turned me down and said she is too young to leave the country. Okay, I did not travel after since because I really didn't want to leave her behind since she was a minor. After my visa expired almost, I went to travel agent and I paid fee for another application. When I went, she gave me an application for renewal of visa. I went in and it was approved. My visa was approved, and then on my way home, I got a call in a bus saying that I should come for a second interview at the embassy. I asked what the situation, what the problem was. They said they cannot speak about that on the phone, so I would have to come in and for a second interview. I told the person that I would have to schedule my work schedule and then call and let her know. Anyway, I did so. I was asked to come in. That was on the Tuesday. I was asked to come in on the Thursday. When I went, they asked for me. I went there. I was only asked one question. The question was, why did I stay so long in the country, which I stayed 5 months. My answer was that I went to visit my aunt because she had surgery, C-section for her baby, and she didn't have any help at the time.
Sure.
After that, I went to visit my family and friends after helping her out to go shopping, and also I really stayed at 5 months. Then the officer turned me down immediately and said, well, I'm sorry, your visa is not approved anymore, so please try again.
Okay.
Don't you think that I should have been, even if I come in on the second interview, don't you think that I should have a thoroughly interview all over to see the changes that I'm going through.
Well, Karen, let me just say this again. Every case is complicated, and without the records in front of me, it's difficult to address your particular situation. I can guess as to what happened, but I can't give you the kind of authoritative response I would prefer to. You're welcome to send me a note with your particulars on it. We can look into it. I can't always. And I do hope you understand this. I try not to micromanage my employees, much as none of us like to be micromanaged. And while we do make mistakes from time to time, and I try to fix them when I can, I don't want to make you a false promise. I don't want to promise I'm just going to fix this. But if you write to Kingston NIV at state.gov, Kingston NIV at state.gov, say that you talked to Bill, give me your details. I will at least take a look at it and try to give you a better explanation. I can't promise I'll overturn anything, but I can promise that I'll at least look at it.
Mike is going to...
Let me just add something for Carrie Ann's benefit and for the benefit of many other people who might be listening.
Yes,
you told the truth during your interview, which is what's important. Sometimes people stay 5 months, 6 months. That's perfectly acceptable. That's perfectly acceptable. The officer at the port of entry authorizes that amount of time. So when we ask you, what were you doing, you simply explain, this is what I was doing. Especially if it was 8 or 9 years ago. You're talking about a 2005 visit.
Right.
So certainly, that situation is very different from what's on today. So what Bill's suggesting is that you just describe what you're doing now as well, so that you can demonstrate you're perfectly eligible to travel.
Because I thought that was what's going to happen.
Usually that's the truth. And as he says, we can't adjudicate cases over the air, naturally. So he invites your email to try to give you some further guidance, okay?
All right.
But you did everything right so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Thank you. You also have a wonderful day. Mike and William, we have a question here. This one says, I applied for a U.S. visa. However, on my online application, I forgot to answer yes to the question, have you ever reported your passport stolen? I honestly forgot that I had done so. At the interview at the embassy, I told the agent yes, I had reported it stolen. I was denied a visa. Will this jeopardize my chances of being granted a visa if I apply again? William, you want to take that?
Sure, absolutely. It's difficult to know right off the basis on which you were refused, but I doubt if that was a specific issue. We ask about stolen passports just because there is a lot of fraud out there, and we want to be sure that we have our records straight in that way. So it would be unusual for that to be the main factor.
And it is important for anyone who loses a passport that contains a U.S. visa to report it to us so that we can void the visa in order to prevent someone from misusing it and misrepresenting the truth about you. Because somebody might pick up your visa, alter it slightly, and suddenly you are the one who is traveling when you're not leaving your house. You have to be very careful about that. So we have ways to void the visa without seeing it.
So it's very important that when they're answering those questions to think very carefully, because she said she probably forgot. She forgot, but
correct.
That's
but that's okay. We know people make mistakes in applications. If you know you've made one and you have trouble correcting it, then as soon as you get to the window, say, "Can I just make a correction on my form?" And we'll be happy to help you.
Right.
The process includes a lot of steps that people can get confused about. So don't worry about the confusion. We can correct it.
Okay. We have Marcia. Let's go to Marcia. Good morning, Marcia. Good to have you.
Hi, yes, good morning. Morning, Benjamin. Okay, my question is not about the visa, to be exact, but when you're normally going to America, right, when you land, you get an I-94 card. I know that we don't have that thing anymore. We don't get it anymore.
No, it's a revolution in traveling.
Yes.
Okay.
It's electronic, eh?
Okay, all right then. If you're there and you bought the ticket for 2 weeks and you want to extend it, what's the procedure you have to go through to get it extended so you don't get in trouble, to be staying over?
You shouldn't have any problem. Most of the time at the port of entry, they stamp you in for 6 months.
Okay.
2 weeks is a very, very brief time. We hope you stay longer. You can't possibly spend all your money in 2 weeks.
No, so
there's so many shops. You need more time. And we want you to stay a little bit longer if you can afford it. So feel free. There shouldn't be an instance where you're held to any 2-week limit simply because you described that amount of time at the port of entry. We want you to stay a little longer than that.
And I should note that I believe, and again, I don't work for the Customs and Border Protection people, but I believe they do have a website which records how long you've been allowed in. It's usually marked in your passport, but usually you can log in and find that out. Again, usually it's 6 months. Occasionally it will be less, but it would not have been only 2 weeks.
No, you would have time.
Oh, that'll be okay.
Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Well, let's go to this final call before the break. Miss O'Connor, how are you? Good to have you.
I'm okay.
Go right ahead.
Yes. I got a 1 entry in 2007 to go to grooming school in the U.S. For 15 weeks. However, I had to return prematurely before the course was finished because of family matters here. So I went back, and I don't know if it's because I went before the time on the visa. Like, I supposed to go in the summer, and I find that I could go before. So my friend told me that I could go before, so I go before. I went. They told me to go in July on the visa, and I went in March. My friend told me that I could come before, so I went there before, and I had to come back because of family problem. And then I went back, and they didn't grab me the visa.
Did you come back just recently, Miss O'Connor?
No. I went in March. I went in the 7th of March and come back the 28th of May.
Right, but this was back in 2007.
Yes.
And now you want to apply again for a visa?
No, I applied about 4 times and I got turned.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Again, it's very difficult for us to go into the particulars of any one case, but I'm sure that if you go to our website, at the kingston.usembassy.gov, they'll give you the information that would help you when you apply again. And sometimes it's very difficult to convince an officer that your situation is strong enough to compel you to return.
I wasn't going back to go to school. I was going to like grooming seminars, dog show, and to shop. That's what I was going there for.
Again, we can't go into the particulars of your case. All I can suggest is that you look at the website, see if you have the information that might help you to qualify, and I wish you the best of luck. Be as confident as you are on the phone, and make the officer understand that your intentions are really what you describe them to be.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for calling. All the best. Okay, we're going to go for the break right now. You're listening to At Your Service. And he's still crying. I can see the tears coming down. Yes, William McCullough. This is the last time I think we're going to see you. Yes.
Unfortunately, yes. I leave in about a month, beginning of June. So, yeah.
Mike McCullough, Visa Chief.
Bill McCullough.
Right. Sorry, Bill. What do you call it, Bill? Okay,
yes, sir.
William. Bill McCullough, Visa Chief, last time here in this capacity, I think. But next time we'll see him as a visitor.
Well, I hope so. He certainly left a lot of people very happy with his presence here, and they'd be happy to see him again.
And we'll make him an honorary citizen.
Oh, nice idea.
Sounds good.
All right.
Nice idea.
Let's take our final caller. Arlene, Arlene, how are you? Good to have you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Darby, and good afternoon to your panel.
Yes, you have about a minute?
Let me hurry up. Okay, I had a visa from 1990 and it got expired in 2009. However, my mom petitioned for me, so I did not renew my visa. No, I had to do a waiver because I had a conviction from 1993, and the embassy said that I have to do a waiver to get the visa because I was charged for assault. Even though I was attacked at my house by several persons, I have to do a waiver. Can I still apply for my immigration visa, my non-immigrant visa?
Yes, absolutely you can. The waivers, again, the conviction, what we call an ineligibility, is a factor. Many of those can be waived, but you've got to start by applying. We always encourage you to apply and let us sort things out after that.
What my question was, can I apply for the non-immigrant visa until I do the waiver? That's what I was asking.
Absolutely. You absolutely can.
Okay, and with the waiver, what forms do I file? I-601?
We take care of that for you. You apply for the visa, we take care of filing for the waiver on your behalf.
I'm not talking about the non-immigrant visa. I'm talking about the one my mom petitioned for me. I have to do a waiver to get the immigrant visa.
We explain that when you're at the window. We tell you exactly what has to happen. First, you go through the process, and then we determine if a waiver is needed.
I lost those documents. Sorry, can I come back and get them back at the embassy?
You probably have to call another time, you see?
Yeah, you're going to have to correspond with us, but in general, just show up as you're invited, and we'll process the case and figure out what's missing.
All right, all the best. You have a wonderful day. Mike Schimmel.
Yes, Vernon.
Are you Jamaican or are you an American? I'm not too sure you're both.
You are so flattering. Listen, I wanted to make sure you got a big up.
Yes.
Today's Teacher's Day.
Yes.
And you have so many students who remember you fondly, even some at the embassy, back when you were teaching mathematics.
Yes.
Big up all teachers.
Really appreciate that.
And let me tell you, too, big up all mothers.
Yes.
Because as you know, Mother's Day, Sunday,
It's very special.
I'm sure, like me, you will be listening to Taurus Riley singing "She's Royal."
Yes, Taurus.
For your mother. For your mother.
Years ago, when I used to be at the Tasty Talent Show, I used to come on. Well, so now we can't come for the show. Now I'd have to pay whole pub to the show. All right, so
big up all mothers.
Yes, all the
wonderful day.
Wonderful day. And the listeners they really appreciate this, and we really appreciate the fact that you come on this program and we see the face of the American Embassy. Thank you very much, Mike Schimmel, Consul General, and also William McCullough. And remember, next time you come back, we have a feature called Traveling the World. We are going to have you on that as a special guest.
Sounds great.
You make sure when you're coming back to Jamaica, you let us know, and we will have you as a very special guest.
I'll do that.
Thank you, gentlemen. All the best. Until week after next, same time, same place.
Walk good.